Welcome back to Overtime. Shares of Booz Allen Hamilton up today after the defense consulting company announced a partnership with Palantir. Joining us now in a rare and exclusive interview is Booz Allen Hamilton CEO Horacio Rozanski. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me here. It's great to be here.
So I do want to start with this partnership with Palantir and just what the significance is of it, and perhaps just as importantly, the fact that this is a partnership that was born out of this conference last year.
Absolutely right. Yeah, Alex and I met here last year. We began talking about our companies who already knew each other in the market. And we said, let's do something bigger and better together. And here we are, announcing a year later.
So what does this partnership enable then?
So they have great technology and great people. We have great technology and great people. And the thesis is we can move faster. To me, I'm obsessed with speed. I think our country needs to speed up. I think the Department of Defense needs to speed up. And I think industry plays a role in that. And we wanted to do some work and something tangible to obviously drive revenue and drive opportunity, but also prove the concept that if we get together and we do something together, two companies that couldn't be any more different, that something great and fast would happen, and 45 days later, we had a prototype.
Yeah, and Booz Allen Hamilton has really been on the forefront in terms of AI development and capabilities as well, particularly where the government is concerned. So what does this do to now, I guess, amplify that? How are you thinking about that type of digitization and adoption with a Trump administration coming in?
So one of the great things is this is going to be our 20th administration transition in 110 years as a company. And we are always squarely in the side of change. And AI is potentially the biggest change we've seen this century and the biggest change that is going to drive national defense over the next 20 to 50 years.
Stocks, defense stocks, including Booz Allen Hamilton and contractor stocks, have sold off since the election. There seems to be this sense in the market, at least among investors, that you're going to have DOGE coming in, you're going to see cuts to government spending, you're going to see layoffs potentially within the public sector, and a lot of disruption. And so investors have been taking that as perhaps a negative for government IT services companies and contractors like Booz Allen Hamilton. Is that a real risk here, or are there potentially tailwinds when we are talking about things like efficiency and productivity and cutting government workers, which perhaps means outsourcing to contractors?
You know, the way we see it is change is necessary, right? It's not that we're doing the wrong things as a country, it's just we're doing the right things too slowly. And DOGE is positioned to act as an accelerator. So we want them to succeed, we need them to succeed. And what's going to come from that is all the things you're talking about. Greater use of technology, greater use of dual-use technologies, things that have been created for the private sector that can be ported into the public sector, more focus and investment on the key critical missions that matter the most to this country, and a look at things that are inefficient and that, frankly, either need to go away or need to be improved. And so, honestly, who can disagree with that?
How are you thinking about that across your different businesses? Because you have the defense business, but you also have a civil business.
I think it's true across all of our businesses. You know, we've built a position where we're focused on some of the key missions, the Indo-Pacific, space, public health. These are all areas that need to be transformed, need to move faster. And our job is to bring these dual-use technologies and make them valuable into those missions. I'll give you an example. Most commercial technology assumes perfect connectivity all of the time. If you're a cloud provider, you assume that all your enclaves are going to be able to talk to one another. That's not true in defense. If you're in a ship, if you're in space, if you're in a submarine, you almost have to assume the opposite. So what Booz Allen brings is we can take this great technology and make it useful in those settings. So for us, that's upside. And, you know, similar stories can be told in the civilian sector, similar stories can be told in intelligence. We're optimistic. I mean, we recognize that at the beginning all of this creates uncertainty. Transitions create uncertainty. They always do. And the market has responded to that, as you said. But honestly, I'm bullish. I think in the medium term, in the long term, this is great for the country and it's great for Booz Allen.
So what is your outlook then for defense spending? What is your outlook for the geopolitical landscape? You published an op-ed today, and you talk about this 3-time frame process.
So, you know, I was borrowing from physics where they say there's this three-body problem, right, which cannot be solved by conventional math. And the 3-time frame problem is the same thing that we're facing as a country. So we're at the same time supporting technologies that have been around since the 1950s and 1960s, modernizing the things that are in play today, and building for the future. On any given day at Booz Allen, we're hiring an astrophysicist to work on quantum and somebody with COBOL programming experience to help support the system that's been around since the 60s. We need to move faster through these phases because technology is accelerating so much, especially at a time where a lot of our adversaries, China, Iran, Russia, North Korea, are coming together into a military and economic bloc that pose a real danger to the free world. And companies like Booz Allen, like Palantir, like many others, need to be part of this solution.
New World Order, is that the way to think about this right now?
I think the U.S. needs to continue to lead. I think the U.S. is in a leadership position. I think the U.S. cannot do it alone. We need allies and partners in the Indo-Pacific, in Europe, across the world. And I think the U.S.'s economic engine is going to be the driver of success, just like we were here in the Reagan Library, just like it was during the Cold War. And again, I'm passionate about this, and I think Booz Allen can play a role, and I think a lot of companies need to get in the game.
That is a big talking point here, is this intersection of the economy and national security. It's one we're going to be talking about quite a bit as the weekend continues to unfold. So Horacio Rozanski, Booz Allen Hamilton CEO, thank you so much for joining me here.
Thank you.